This afternoon, I have to talk about Jazzy Crockett. That's right, Representative Jasmine Crockett of Texas, the woman who thinks she's one of the smartest people in Congress, the woman who thinks she's going to be the leader of the Democrat Party. She claims to know it all. She claims to have this poor upbringing, similar to AOC. We know AOC lied, and Jasmine Crockett is a liar as well. She was spoon-fed throughout her life. She's not from the hood. She never was. She never will be. But listening to this video clip, and I have to tell you, it's 1 minute and 30 seconds long, but it is so worth watching. Jasmine Crockett is talking to the one and only Gavin Newsom, and she's telling him how she feels about President Trump sending the National Guard into Washington, D.C., because we know they're all against it, even though crime has dropped approximately 83% in the couple of weeks that they've been on the ground there. But if you were to see this video without knowing what it was about, you would have no idea that Jasmine Crockett was even talking about the troops going to D.C.
You know, the idea that we thought January 6th was a problem and we thought, oh man, that's bad. And, you know, his army then was a bunch of white nationalist races, whether we're talking about the Proud Boys or the neo-Nazis or whomever. Those guys were the ones that made up his army on that day to try to pull a coup. Now you're talking about a guy that every time he disagrees with something, he uses the power that he has because no one around him is checking him, whether we're talking about those in his administration or whether we're talking about the courts or if we're talking about the Congress. That is one of the reasons he is so desperate to make sure that he can win in the midterms, is because he knows that Democrats, it's not even about partisanship. It's about doing what's right. It's about doing the American thing. And to be clear, you can wave all the flags you want to, but I am telling you right now that the most unpatriotic people that we have in this country are MAGA and this president. We are the real patriots, and it is time for us to take our flag back and show people what America is about. You can't say that you love the Constitution while decimating it with every single stroke of a pen for an executive order, while decimating it, while you are disrespecting our troops that have signed up to protect our freedoms, not just here, but abroad. And then you're taking people's freedoms away using those exact same troops.
And there she is, the smartest woman in Congress, the Democrat Party's rising star, but I like to call her a falling star. She has zero idea of what she's talking about. She's saying his army, meaning President Trump, all white supremacists, the Proud Boys or neo-Nazis. So again, the Democrats are preaching lies and propaganda by trying to tell the American people that President Trump set up this whole January 6th fraud. We know that what it was. We know that's what it was. We saw all the video. They were given a tour of the U.S. Capitol. And yes, there was violence, but that was from Antifa. And Antifa is usually put in place by the Democrats, by billionaire Democrats, namely George Soros. We've heard it all before. We've seen the evidence. We know it's true. But listening to Jazzy claims also that the MAGA supporters, the Trump flag wavers, anybody who supports Donald Trump, anybody who voted for him, we are the unpatriotic ones. We are the ones who are causing all the problems. And she goes on to say the Democrats are the real patriots. They're the ones who want to save the country. Give me strength. This woman is so full of shit, and she actually believes her own lies. And while Super Gavin is sitting there nodding his head and agreeing with her, because he's another one living in a fairy tale, he has no clue what he's talking about. We all know he single-handedly destroyed California. We all know back from when he was mayor of San Francisco, he was going to stop homelessness, drug addiction. He was going to clean up the streets. And now it's 2025, and California is a bigger shithole than it was when he was mayor of San Francisco. And that's all happened on his watch. And she also claimed that every time President Trump doesn't agree with someone, he has to go to the pen and put out an order or an executive order or whatever it was she mumbled. Are you kidding me right now? People like myself, and I assume you, do not agree with the Democrats. We do not agree with their policies. We do not agree that they select certain groups of people to take care of, namely the alphabet people, okay? Every time a conservative or a Republican politician talks about it and calls it nonsense, the Democrats lose their mind and they bus in hundreds of protesters holding up signs saying LGBTQ rights. It's fact. We've seen it. We saw it for 4 years during Joe Biden's administration. So if Jasmine Crockett wants to preach that conservatives or Republicans or MAGA, whatever she wants to call them, if she's saying we're the unpatriotic ones, I think she needs to go back to her elite upbringing and do a little homework, okay? The Democrat Party throws a hissy fit and puts on a protest every time someone comes out against them. Whether it was Elon Musk with Doge, Democrats were burning car dealerships because Elon Musk owned them. People were destroying cars, keying them, lighting them on fire, pushing them off the road because Elon Musk made those cars. I didn't see any Republicans doing that. I didn't see any MAGA doing that. No. Jasmine Crockett, again, is full of shit. So she can go on and say President Trump was the leader of January 6th and his army was white supremacists, or he disagrees with them, he puts out an order. Well, listen to me, Jazzy. You and every one of your failure Democrats in Congress are the reason our country is in the toilet right now. You people forced Joe Biden on the rest of the American people because you knew any other Democrat candidate you could not control. You knew you could control Joe Biden. You knew his brain was fried, so that's why you made sure he became president. And then you say Republicans and conservatives are trying to destroy democracy. Trump is going to destroy democracy. And then they went and placed Kamala Harris in as the candidate for the Democrats. I'm so sick and tired that no one is stopping these people from lying every single time they open their mouth. And there's one more thing I want to bring up, even though it's really nothing to do with that video. Texas had a redistricting plan. The Texas Democrats fled the state, we all know that, and when they came back, the plan passed anyways. And Gavin Newsom called it nothing but corruption. They are trying to steal the midterms. So what did Gavin do? He turned around and did his own redistricting. He's telling us he's going to take Republican seats and turn them Democrat. And he signed the executive order to do it. It's corruption in Texas, but if Gavin Newsom does it, it's square, it's on the up and up, there's nothing wrong with it. That just goes to show you, these people are hypocrites. They have nothing, they haven't had any strength for years, and they're not going to have any strength for years to come with people like Jasmine Crockett or Gavin Newsom and the rest of the failures in Congress. I name them all the time: Schumer, Jeffries, Ocasio-Cortez, Pelosi, Maxine Waters, and you name it. They have nothing. So now, again, everything that's wrong with the country is Trump's fault, and Jazzy's upset because he's lowered crime in D.C. by approximately 83% in about 2 weeks, because the Democrats were letting it happen. they weren't doing nothing about it. Well, guess what, Jazzy? National Guard troops and federal agents are coming to another city. Chicago, New York, just to name a couple. It's going to continue because the real patriots, the MAGAs, as you call us, we see what's happening. We see President Trump doing what he promised on the campaign. He's getting rid of the illegal criminals. He's cleaning up the streets in these shithole cities that Democrats run and who take no responsibility for anything that happens in their cities, because all they're interested in is pushing propaganda and making their pockets a little fatter.